Hello my friends, Dave Schramm here of ShrammGuitars.com, and today we're going to look at how I install tap plates on flamenco guitars. Let's go check it out. Okay, so the tap plates that I use are about 14 thousandths thick. This is the old LMII Tap Plate material. They're no longer in business, so I don't know where you can get more of these. I have a stock of them. But what I do is I've measured about 1 millimeter away from the bridge. I like to have some space there. And even with the bridge wing here, and this is a little bit too wide, so I'm gonna have to cut that. So it's taped on there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mark about center line here and cut this, and then I'm going to reinstall it, and I'm going to put the markings for the sound hole. So I created my halfway mark, or the midpoint of my rosette. So now I'm going to take this on a piece of wood and cut this with a X-Acto knife. Okay, so there's my line there. I've also marked this so I know which side is up. This is a protective film which is going to peel off, but I want to know which side is up and which is down. So I'm going to measure this. Looks like I got about 43 millimeters. I'm going to mark those ends there. I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to just draw that out here. Now I'm going to cut to that line with a fresh X-Acto blade knife, and I need to go get that fresh blade. All right, I've got my fresh blade, my X-Acto knife, and we're going to cut this. Don't try to do it in one pass, do multiple passes. There we go. Now I got this to length. I'm going to refit it on the soundboard and see where we're going to put cut out the rosette. Okay, so we got everything set up here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the rosette. Let me try a different pen here. And I'm going to put it several markings here. It's going to be just inside the rosette ring. Put a little center mark there. So about every half inch I'm putting a little dot here. There we go. Don't know if you can see that, but there's my rosette. Now this I have flush with the bridge. Over here, I'm gonna go, you can go between 50 and 60 millimeters from the sound hole here. Let's see. So I'm going to put a little mark here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I cut this out and then cut that part there out and then round the edges. Okay. Okay, so I've got my markings here for cutting the treble side down to width. Get my straight edge, have everything taped down here. Get this on my lines. Now remember, we do several passes. Don't try to cut this all at once, it's too thick. There we go. Save your scraps because you might be able to use them for other things. Okay, there. So now I got the width. You can see the sound hole part here, and that's going to be my next step. To cut that. Now to cut that, I'm going to use this compass. I bought this a while ago. Olfa looks like the brand, O-L-F-A. So it's got a razor blade here. So I'm going to find the right spot, and then I'm going to use this to cut that radius. Okay, I found where I think it's going to be the best spot for this. Let's see. You know, I want to get just a little bit more to here. Here we go. Gonna check it. Bit closer. Don't be in too much of a hurry. You want to get it right where you want it. And I think this is good. Yep, let's do it. You're going to do this in several passes. Almost got it. There we go. All right. Get out of the light here. So now you see our pick guard. Our tap plate. I'm going to leave these square here like that, but I am going to bevel these edges, and I'll show you how I do that. I like to use a 1 1/4 inch radius here. So I'm going to mark that on this edge here. There you go. And I'm going to mark it over here as well. Now I'm going to use some very sharp scissors to cut that. For the end towards the bridge, all we're going to do there, I have to move this, is we're just going to do about a 40 small little bevel here. There we go. Do that over on this side too. There you can see the slight bevel that's put on there. Okay, now I'm going to take the sharp scissors and cut the radius. So now I've got nice fresh scissors, and I'm going to cut that radius. There we go. And do the same on this side. There we go. Got our radius. Okay, now we're going to check the fit, and if everything is where it needs to go, it's going to be time to install this tap plate. Golpeador. All right, everything looks good. So our next step is we are now going to install this. Got the bevel, rounded edges here. There's where it meets the rosette. I got about a 1 millimeter gap right here between the tap plate and the bridge. Okay, looks good. Okay, so let's talk about how we're gonna do this. I've already aligned everything, taped my pick guard down. I've plugged the hole with some sponges here that I've wadded up, put in the hole, so that I'm going to be using water to apply this. It doesn't get inside the guitar. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use some pipettes, and I've got some water here. So I'm going to fill some pipettes here with some water, get those all loaded. And we are just going to remove a little bit of the backing at a time over here, applying some water and then squeezing it out as we peel the adhesive backing off. Some of the other tools, I'll be using these sanding blocks to help push out any air bubbles. And I also have these bone folding sticks that I'll be using. Also going to be having this spray bottle ready to go. So, oh, bit of sneeze. Oh, bless, excuse me. All right, so we're going to peel off a little bit of the backing here. Make sure you have freshly washed hands. Can be tricky. There we go. Ah, had it. There. Just gonna do about 1.5 inches. And what I'm gonna do is spray the top. some water in there. Working my way from the bridge towards the sound hole. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see the air bubbles in the moving from the water here. So we're just going to squeeze those out. Take your time. You'll get some excess water coming out. That's fine. Okay, so now I need to get some more of the adhesive out. So that I can now take this off. Gonna grab the adhesive, lift it up, do about another inch or so. Get some more water in there. Your neighbor's going for a walk, so you might hear some people. Spray some more water. Don't worry about it. You're not going to have too much water. It's all going to squeeze out. now I'm just gonna go over this and see if there's any air bubbles that I missed. And then I'll take the protective top covering off of this. Okay, so I'm gonna keep working on this. Gonna be using the folding sticks if I need to help get up near some of those edges. Be careful you don't go into the top. There we go. See a couple spots here to get. Work from the center outwards. There we go. So these are the sponges that were inside the sound hole. Put one in and then squeeze the other one, and then that protects stuff from getting inside the sound hole. So now let's take the protective film off. There we go. Just going to use this cloth to get any of my fingerprints off there. There we go. There's still a little bit of water underneath the tap plate here, but that's all going to evaporate. It's gonna come out, so not a problem. And you'll see that, yeah, more of the water will kind of come up, especially at the edge here. You just squeeze it out, and this method gets rid of 99.9% of the air bubbles. You can't get rid of every single one because wood is not perfectly flat, okay? So there might be some little bubbles here and there, but for the most part, you'll get most of it. And remember, these can be taken off. That's not a permanent thing. So if you get an air bubble, no big deal. Just use it until you need to replace the golpeador or tap plate and need another one. All right, so there you have it. That's how I install my tap plates on my flamenco guitars. Let's take a look from my perspective. You're gonna see my tree in my front yard and the reflection here. So you can hardly even see that tap plate there. There's the edge of it. There we go. Well, there you go, my friends. That's how I install the golpeadors or tap plates on my flamenco guitars. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.